Some nations, Australia, Taiwan, New Zealand, China, have worked their way out of this thing by behavior change, lockdowns, and strict isolation and quarantine. The US has not. It's lost control of it. It has to rely on vaccines. I do think ultimately they're going to help the states work their way out of it. In the emergency side, I think it's pretty clear that you're trying to, in the US in particular, preserve the healthcare system from not being tipped over. So healthcare workers are going first, not because they're the greatest need or the greatest risk, but you've got to try and maintain the system. Then there's pretty much agreement that the next group should be nursing home residents because they got beat up very badly by the virus, and they still are. Out of 250,000 or so deaths here, I think 100,000 were nursing homes. So I think for the first couple of months, December, January into February, we're going to see the healthcare workers get it, the nursing home residents get it, nursing home staff get vaccine, and that'll be it. There won't be any more for anybody anyway, so it doesn't matter who's prioritized. Then as more supply begins to appear and maybe licensure occurs, you'll probably then go to older, over 65s, people with chronic conditions, and quote unquote essential workers. That's a big group. That's probably 80 million plus, but I think we'll have enough vaccine to do that. Once the vaccine gets licensed, I think you'll see mandates all over the place. I think healthcare institutions, nursing homes will say, you're not going to work here unless you get vaccinated. I think you'll see airlines and trains and cruise ships saying you're not coming on board unless you show proof of vaccination. And I support that. I mean, I think at the end of the day, some of the worst outbreaks we've seen have been on cruise ships. I've seen Qantas Airlines already say they're planning a mandate. I suspect most Americans are nervous that the government's going to tell them they have to get a vaccine, but I think you're going to see mandates coming out of the private sector more than the government. And the military will have a mandate. We're obsessing a lot about who's going first, but I think there are two other big issues that are really ethically problems. As soon as you approve some vaccines for emergency use, then whether it's England, the US, or wherever, a lot of people are going to say, I don't want to be in a trial anymore. I think it's going to see the end of trials due to emergency use. People in the placebo group are going to say, I don't want to be in the placebo group. Tell me if I am, because I want to go get vaccinated, particularly if I'm a high-risk person. The other thing I think we've not paid enough attention to is everybody wants to know who's going first. Well, that's nice. But in the short run, the issue isn't who's going first. The issue is, are places going to be able to administer this darn vaccine? Pfizer's is cold chain, very, very cold temperatures. I don't know if I trust being able to keep everything at the cold chain temperatures all the way through. It's hard. Even if you do, it comes in packages, I think, of 1,000. That means you get 1,000 doses, you open up the package, and you got to give them out within 5 or 6 hours. That takes a lot of people to vaccinate that many people that fast. Those people have to be in one place to get it. It's logistically going to be harder than I think people think.